let's talk about how to release patterns. Let's talk about first where to not release patterns and how many therapists are trying to do it, but they are explaining it to you in the wrong way. Because most therapists actually don't practice mental health tools themselves. They only regurgitate information. And that's why they tell you, oh, it takes years. But it only takes years because it really don't work. And even after years of talk therapy. And the reason is, if you have a therapist or you had a therapist, the first thing your therapist should teach you is cognitive diffusion. And I'm going to explain to you today what that is, okay? So, cognitive diffusion is the differentiation between you and your brain, okay? This is your brain. This is you, all right? This is you, this is your brain. You are not your brain. But a lot of people are identified with their thoughts and their emotions. And then if your therapist doesn't explain you that you're doing compulsions, in a second I'm going to explain you also what a compulsion is, very important to understand, to release those traumatic patterns. If your therapist doesn't explain you what a compulsion is and cognitive diffusion, you will be in the therapy session speaking from your patterns and you will feed your patterns. And the problem is the therapist will feed your patterns, and feeding your patterns can actually feel good. So after the therapy session, you actually can feel like, oh, I feel better. But then you don't understand why every time you go through in the week, you feel sucky again, you have ups and downs, you can't get a grasp on it, you can't do the things that you value still, and then you come to the therapy session again, and you feel high again. So the therapy session becomes a drug addiction. But your therapist should help you do the things that you value. They should help you do the things you want to do. And I explain you today how to do that. All right? I use this because visual things help your brain to understand a lot of times things outside compared to because your brain is very smart. It uses your intellect. So it will really use your intellect to trick you a lot of times. Okay? But it actually doesn't mean, it's actually a best friend. And I'm going to explain you later on too why. It actually wants to support you. But we just don't speak the language of the brain, and we have to speak the language of the brain to change it. All right? So, let's talk about cognitive diffusion. This is the first lesson your therapist should ever give you. And if he doesn't, fire him. You could call me Hank Moody. I'm like the professor. I don't know if you watch, maybe you don't watch it, but that doesn't matter. So cognitive diffusion is the ability to differentiate between you and your brain, okay? This is your brain, this is you. When you grew up, the first thing that your parents did is identify you with a name, is saying, oh, Josh is this way, Josh is shy, or Aaron is he's a sporty guy. Janan, she's a tomboy. I have some I think Tom has a few anger problems. And you hear all these affirmations from the people around you, and you identify with those thoughts. It's not your fault. You came into the world that likes to judge you. And the reason why they like to judge you is because they want to get safety. They want to put you in a box. Because if they put you in a box, they can say, oh, Aaron is this way, and Jani's a narcissist, and Abdul is an a-hole, and this person is that astrology sign. So we're using these things to label people, right? But this is a problem because as a kid, you should have been taught in school to learn about cognitive diffusion, okay? Now, to go deeper on cognitive diffusion, we have to look at how does the brain express itself. And the brain only expresses itself in three things. Number one, thoughts. Number two, I hope you guys are guessing. Some of you guys are guessing. We have some also subscribers who are able to chime in and say, you probably already know what the ones are, so please don't give it away for the other people who's maybe it's going to be a surprise. Number 2, emotions. I feel like these two are very self-explanatory. But what is the third one? What is the brain can give you too that you maybe don't remember right now? And if you think memories are part of thoughts, okay? But what is the third thing that the brain gives you that you might forget about, that the brain can do? The brain has the ability to give you bodily sensations. Isn't that crazy? The brain can actually give you pains that are not there. It can make you tired, only for the reason for you to not do things that it deems as dangerous. And it might be situations where you want to go to a party, but because you got bullied in school, you don't like going to parties. Because the brain's like, no, I need to protect you. Remember, we got bullied. I need to give you anxiety or thoughts. Oh, you don't listen to the anxiety? Let me give you a stomach ache. Or let me give you some pains. Or let me give you some weird things that you're going to freak out about. So it's more rare, to be honest, than emotions and thoughts. But it's the third thing that the brain expresses itself, okay? Now, why do I explain you guys this? Because these 3 things are not you. They cannot be you because you can see them. The problem with thoughts is they come so close. So let's look at this bottle. This, I don't want to make commercials for something. It's a good brand, but it's apple cider vinegar with it's good for your stomach. But it doesn't matter about this right now, okay? It doesn't matter. But how do you guys know that this is not you? How do you know that this is not you? You can see it. It's an object. It's in front of you. You know it's not you because you can observe it. Well, anything you can observe cannot be you because by definition, you are the observer. So you are the observer, you cannot be this, okay? Now, problem with thoughts, they come so close to you. They're so close to you. They're so close to you. And the brain knows what you react to. It has all the data from all the years that you've been here. And it knows the thoughts and the emotions that you react to. That's why intrusive thoughts are there. And everybody has different intrusive thoughts. You might react to guilt, or someone else might react to anger. Someone might react to depression. Someone else might react to thoughts of not being good enough. Someone else might react to the thought of, oh, I don't want to harm a person. Someone else might react to a thought of, oh, I don't want to embarrass myself, or I don't want to be judged. The brain knows what thoughts you react to, so it gives you them, and then you think, oh no, right, I'm an introvert. I'm not supposed to do that. But in reality, it's a thought, and because you react to it, you feed the pattern. You feed the old traumatic pattern. Okay? So far, so good. All right. And for a lot of people, it's in the beginning, it's like, damn, but the thoughts are so close. Am I really not my thoughts? Am I really not my emotions? But over time, when you do this practice, what I'm going to explain you will become more clear. Oh, of course. I'm not my thoughts and my emotions because you are actually practicing cognitive diffusion and you changing, and I want you to open your beautiful ears right now, from the emotionally addictive engine and thought engine to the valued action engine. And repeat after me. The emotionally addictive engine is very, very, very bad for your mental health. It causes ADHD, BPD, depression, all kinds of things. And trauma is going to stay on that engine, okay? That's why we want to change to the valued action engine. And I will tell you in a little bit why this will help you to overcome procrastination, to overcome any kind of addiction, to overcome ADHD, to overcome BPD, and do the things that you value, which is the most important thing, which a lot of you guys avoid because of the traumatic patterns. So I'll give you guys an example. You know me from spiritual TikTok. You probably know me from mental health TikTok. You probably also know me from relationship TikTok. I have all kinds of videos in all 3 areas that went viral. I'm kind of unique in that because usually people have only one tunnel, one niche, they say, that goes viral. But for me, I love talking about all three things. And I'm on all three TikToks. So you might be on the relationship TikTok, you might be on the spiritual TikTok, or you might coming from the mental health TikTok, and you know me because of that. Why did I approach you guys about spiritual TikTok, relationship TikTok, mental health TikTok, self-help TikTok? The reason for that is because a lot of people who are into self-help and those things have self-help addictions. What does that mean? They're always looking for another answer. How can I fix this? There must be another secret answer that no one told me about. And it comes from a thought of, oh, I'm not good enough yet. I'm not ready yet. Really, that self-addiction prevents you from actually starting your podcast, starting your music career, starting the things you want to do. Because anxiety comes up and the brain says, or you say, no, I cannot start doing this thing that I want to start. And then the brain says, oh, we need to learn more. We need to get more books. We need to learn more about Michael Singer or Eckhart Tolle. We need to learn and know more technique to release this trauma. But in reality, you don't understand that you're actually right now feeding a trauma pattern with that. And a lot of teachers on spiritual TikTok and mental health TikTok and YouTube, I love TikTok, by the way, it's a beautiful platform. YouTube, Instagram, use your addiction to self-help addiction in a way to pull you in, okay? So I actually want to break it for people. I want for people to have the emotional fitness and the clarity so they break that addiction.